a New Pace podcast. My name's Lesley, and I'm your host for this podcast where we take time to think about elements and different conversations relating to pause, act, create, and empower. So today I have a very special guest on the podcast today. My lovely sister, who I promise I haven't bribed or forced to come on, who has agreed, maybe a little bit of a nudge to come on, a little bit of persuasion, but I am really appreciative of my sister Julie coming on the podcast. And so I obviously know her from a personal point of view, and it'd be really nice to have a conversation with her in view of the idea of stepping into a new pace, the idea of the pace model with those elements that are so important. And so hi Julie.
Hi! Hi!
Hello.
It's great to be on this podcast, and I love talking, but a lot of the time I'm actually quite nervous. I look nervous, but when my gob goes, that's it, I'm verbal diarrhea.
Yeah.
Anyway, what I'd say is I am a very positive person, but I hide away. I'm a little
Ah,
bit nervous at times.
yeah. And do you think that's quite a common thing then, would you say? Like
Yeah,
for other people?
Yeah, I think it is really. I think a lot of people don't know how to speak out. They feel
Mm,
they're always worried in case you're speaking out of term or you're talking too long. That's what
mm,
I feel. I think that people need to be able to have that confidence and just be who they want to be.
mm. And that's,
So,
I'm glad you said that because part of the intention of this podcast is to be able to provide spaces for people to express themselves. And as an art therapist, that's what I do.
mm,
And sometimes people do find it hard to express themselves with the
mm,
words, which is where the art can come in sometimes, or
mm,
where it can matter who you're surrounded by. So I
yeah.
think that's a good way of starting to set the scene.
Yeah. You see, I always find if you've got a really positive person with you, then you're able to be that positive person yourself because it's like you smile to each other, you're contagious. You get a piece of paper and some lovely crayons and they're drawing with you and it's a positive picture you can see, then your picture's going to be as positive in my opinion. It's going to look positive. You want to you want to achieve something as they've achieved. And
Mm,
I always find myself being positive towards other people, but sometimes it's harder to be positive about yourself. But
mm.
when I get a picture or you see somebody give a big smile at you in the street, that always makes me smile back. Always makes me
Yeah.
feel happy.
Yeah. And that makes total sense, doesn't it? Of like when like smiling's contagious, and when you're surrounded by the right people, then you can pick up
Mm,
on maybe their energy and feel kind of inspired by them, and
yeah,
equally you inspiring them as well.
yeah, oh yeah. I mean, it's as basic as going into work. Going to work and you get the morning, how are you? I know
Yeah.
that's a bit dumb, really, but if nobody even just says morning to you from at the beginning of your day, that can make you feel as if I'm not important. And
Mm,
so, really, that is a biggie for me. It's
mm,
always it really makes me feel low. Yeah, get some pictures, get me drawing, and
mm.
show them something that I've done at the weekend. But if you haven't done anything or feel you've done anything, you can't share that with anybody.
Yeah.
So
So like those interactions are important, aren't there? And sometimes you might kind of come across someone that has had a bad morning. They might not be very cheerful. They might not
mm,
kind of necessarily even say hello. So I suppose it's like there's maybe something about normalizing those experiences where there might
mm,
be times when I'm feeling like really rubbish and don't feel like being kind of cheerful, it's being authentic, being genuine, and times when actually, like, I might be much more upbeat.
yeah, oh yeah, but people don't want to know. They don't really want to know a lot of the time
Mm,
how you're feeling, or they're worried. If you do say you don't feel well, or feel good, then how do they actually support you? Because not
yeah,
everyone knows what to do. So sometimes you just don't open up, and you're
Yeah.
best to then you just keep yourself going yourself, and get
Mm.
your own strategies to be able to better yourself and make yourself feel better.
Yeah.
So
It sounds like two things there that I was like catching on to. One, the idea of having that general social interaction where you might be, "Hi, how are you? Fine, thanks. How are you?" And that's that
mm,
sort of typical, very British interaction where it's more of a greeting, I'd say, rather
mm,
than a information seeking.
yeah,
But then
yeah,
on the other hand, actually um, sharing like how you
mm,
are, and when there's challenges, maybe recognizing times when it might feel necessary to get on with things independently.
mm,
And much like lots of situations, there might be times when you can get on independently, and there might be times when it's important to be able to have some support.
yeah,
And what you said at the start, Julie, about being around people, the positive people and the right kind of people that you can express yourself with, it
mm,
seems that that makes a difference, sort of
oh
thing, as
yeah,
to how you might talk.
yeah. Oh, I mean, I always feel quite insecure sometimes. So when nobody talks to you, I always think it's me being paranoid that
Mm,
nobody wants to be your friend. And I know that you can't have loads, you don't always, not everyone can like you, but sometimes I always feel paranoid that nobody likes me. And that's
mm,
it. I'm the bad egg and nobody wants to be my friend. And
mm.
it's, but then I think sometimes I look and go, they're all just busy.
Yeah.
You know, people are busy in their own minds. Just because they're not smiling at me when I walk by does not
Mm,
mean that they're not my friend, or they're
mm,
not, don't see me as being in something nice, or,
mm,
that you're not seen as being you're seen as being a horrible person.
mm.
And I hate that. I like people liking me. And it
Yeah.
really upsets me when might have upset them, or I feel I have. And it's like, that's it. I have a bad night's sleep if I feel as if it upset somebody, or
Mm,
I know that they weren't happy before they went home and I've not done something about it.
mm.
But I don't know what you could do with that. You know, what
Yeah.
can people do if you know that they've gone home and they look sad before you spoke to them? And it's
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
so
I suppose sometimes there's maybe that recognition of the awareness of where you're at and what you notice in other people, as well as being able to notice and think about what you can control compared to
mm,
what you can't control. So
mm,
actually, like, sometimes there might be times when you could say something different to somebody and it might have an impact. Other times you might say something and it might not necessarily have an impact. Or
mm,
what you said about somebody walking down the road, like that's quite a common example that is talked about, like in CBT, cognitive behavior therapy, where
yeah,
somebody's walking down the road and it's somebody that you know, and they might be on the opposite side of the road, or they might be just past you, and they pass you and don't say hello, don't recognize you. Maybe
mm,
you might have said hello and they don't say hello back. Or similarly, it might be somebody that's a text message
mm,
in this world now.
yeah, yeah,
And actually, on one hand, you can make that assumption that they mustn't like me because they have ignored me, or they
they've not
must
heard
be,
from them for a while.
yeah, or I must have done something wrong. We can have that assumption. Although
Mm,
actually, on the flip side is they might have something on their mind. They might be
mm,
tired. They might be going through something challenging themselves where they maybe don't
mm,
want to talk about it, and just getting through it. And it, like there's maybe that balance of feeling those feelings, and because actually it's like I like to be liked as well. I kind of would worry as well if I've upset somebody, and like it feels awful, doesn't it? But
mm,
then there's maybe, I kind of think that there's that middle ground actually, where if you know what your intentions are for, what your values are, what's important to you, then that can make a difference, rather than like not being able to control what they're thinking.
mm.
You can't always control what they're thinking or doing. So
No, not.
here's a question. So what would you say is like the most important things to you in your life?
I don't know. My family, I think. My family isn't it? Not you though, but yeah, my other family. Um, my family really,
The
and
others?
yeah, and I'm only joking. My family, and especially my son and his girlfriend,
Yeah.
and the dog. The dog
Yeah.
is I'm the grandma to the dog, but yeah, Jasper the dog, I'm the grandma. But yeah, they're important to me, and seeing them blossoming and seeing them doing well, it always makes me feel good. And they have their ups and downs, but we all do, and we all work together to get through them. So,
Yeah.
but
That's
yeah.
it. Yeah. And when you think about sort of the things that have been important to you in your life, has that always been the same? Or have there been other things? Like when you think about, I don't know, like think about your interests.
Mm. I think I've tried to have other interests, but a lot of them seem to be gone by um more related to the childcare in my life really. From
Yeah.
being even a little kiddie, following my mum's footsteps when she was doing looking after the kids in the school holidays. I was then brought up really that that's what you do. And I wasn't pushed into, oh, you do childcare, but I just felt that that was it, having a baby and looking after other children. And even today, if I think about what else could I do, well, actually, it could go into different forms, but I still feel as if it would be children, young people, that idea, that would be always is my blossoming. It's always me.
Yeah,
Um,
your
I mean,
gift.
I've turned 50, and I thought that when I got to 50, that were it then. I would maybe my career might change.
Mm.
Maybe I might, well, until I got to 50, I was panicking, thinking, oh God, there you go, I've got a year till it happens. And now I just turned around and got there and went, hey, let's move on. I can do 50. I says,
Yeah.
and when a little girl at work turned around and asked me if I was a grandma, well, I'm sorry, but everybody else laughed, and I just turned around and thought, well, actually, that's quite cute because grandmas, in my opinion, because I love with me being a family person, they're the best thing from sliced bread. They're special, the grandmas. So I just said, yeah, I'm a grandma, sort of. And she grabbed a book, and just plonked herself on my knee. And I thought, I wasn't insulted. I told a few of the staff, and they were like, "Oh my God, how rude!" And I was like, "No, these grandmas are special, and I know what my grandma was like. She was special to me."
Yeah.
So, and I didn't mean to be rude about you. You are important to me as well.
Oh no, I think, but this is kind of how we are really as siblings, isn't it? That there's times we might fall out, and times we might kind of have times when we get along really well, and times
Mm,
we might be kind of joking around and things, and that's
mm,
what sisters do, isn't it? Really, and I think I
mm.
always remember when we were growing up, because we like there's three of us. That there were times I don't think when we were growing up all three of us got on really well all together.
No,
We'd
you were stronger than me.
between us we'd be falling out, but then not
Yeah,
falling out with all three of us, sort of thing. That's how I remember things. So if I
yeah.
was falling out
You'd
with my
look
brother,
grum. You'd look glum at me, grumpy, and I'd think you, and then I'd go off running, crying.
oh
Or if my mum says I'm not happy with you, I'm leaving home, and I'd grab my bag and I'll go sit out in the garden.
yeah,
Um, David, that's our big brother. He'd throw a washing basket of wet washing on you. You'd stand up and
oh
laugh. I would be there vacuuming, and he'd put rubbish on the floor in front of me, and I'd be crying when my mum comes home from work. But yeah,
yeah,
you used to just laugh. I would be crying in the corner if he touched me.
oh, but
That's
actually it's
personality.
like because these are the sorts of things when you're saying about family and that being important to you, and that maybe difference of how you kind of one thing that I know I picked up on you saying about getting a bit older and having that initial, something that really struck me, Julie, was when you said about in the lead up to turning 50, there was something very different than that happened after you turned 50. Maybe the after part feeling like a different way of seeing it,
Yeah.
different energy, a different mindset. What
Yeah, I just
could you
felt a
share?
lot of my past wasn't very good. My past not always has been really great. So, and all I thought was, hey, this can be a time that you could say, hey, it's fallen. I don't know the right words or whatever, but I just knew that this could be a proper timeline. Hey, I've hit 50 now. Come on, Julie, let's move on. And, it's just like you suddenly come on Monday morning, that's it then. I'm not going to have any more cake because we're starting a diet. Well, it's like 50. I had my 50th, and that's it. I had a party, I had a birthday little party with my
Yeah,
mum, and it were like, that's it now. I can be a big girl now. I don't need any more pass the parcels at my mum's party that she set up for me. I can actually do things for myself, and I still have that little anxiety of, oh, are people not my friends? But I'm more important than thinking about that. I need to just go, come on. There's people out there that are your friends, and the
yeah.
other ones you can just, if you don't know they're your friends, so what? Just move on.
Mm.
You'll suddenly they'll come round and go, hey, what were you up to last weekend? And I'll be, oh God, you never speak to me normally, but maybe it's because you're always busy.
Yeah,
But instead of criticising, I just went, it's been all right. But, oh God,
yeah,
what's your name again? Because I've not heard from you ever before. So
yeah. Sounds like a good attitude because actually, as your sister, it was the sort of thing that I'd wind you up about, kind of, oh, you're turning 50
oh no, I'll
and
be doing that to you in a couple of years.
well, absolutely,
And
absolutely, but
yours will be worse because every single birthday you've counted, every single birthday you've gone, oh God, I've got a year left. Oh, you're 40 soon, aren't you? No, I've got 2 years yet.
oh yeah, oh, I'm with you.
And I used to get this because it was 2.5 years between us. So I used
Yeah,
to sit there and go, "Oh, you've got 2 years now until you're 40 as well." And I felt as if it affected you more than it affected me. When I knew I
mm,
was getting to that age, it was just like, "Oh, it's another year." But I think you were counting the years, in my opinion. I don't know if other people are like that. They
yeah.
they're
I've
waiting
got
for those.
yeah,
They're scared for that to turn up to be there. You know.
yeah. I've got to say, yeah, I've not really thought about that before, but actually, being the youngest, I probably do have that awareness of that going to be happening. So,
Mm,
and there was probably something about that growing up as well that, leaving school and things like that. It's like, how many years would I have left for that? And like to do that, because I'm mindful that this, like, I suppose I'll be turning 50 in like more than 2 years, of 2 and a bit years. Whereas I know other people that wouldn't be thinking 2 years, they might be kind of thinking, oh, I'm maybe mid 40s now, sort of thing. But they might not be that aware of it until it
mm.
suddenly happens. Whereas having you and David as like already got there, it's like a role model as to this is how
Yeah,
you.
you were just going, you're older than me. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
probably. But yeah, I just think that years just go by before you know it. You're another year on, and they're all
yeah,
the same. And no, they might be all the same, but they're all special too. I'm not meaning they're all the same and they're not important. But a year goes on, and you go, oh, that's another one that you put, on bad post, little
mm,
accounting count of the years. But
yeah.
yeah, I remember some of my birthdays when they were proper like your 18th and your 21st. I can't even remember them. But I think
No,
that's because I'm blooming 50, so forgetful. But still, it's still, I
yeah,
can't remember them properly. But, I feel as if this 50 is gonna not make it as being a negative. I feel as if, hey, it's more now. I'm grown up now. I'm bigger and I've got more positive energy inside me to do things I want to do.
mm,
If I want to have a lie in in my bedroom on my day off, then why not? But
Yeah.
then some of the time I regret that, and I think, no, I need to work out a proper strategy to be able to do things well, and so, and then make the most of your time.
Mm.
Like me and my gardening, I still got mucky nails. I'm sure I have from doing gardening yesterday, even though I've scrubbed them. But, and my garden looks ace. But it's
Yeah.
still, and that makes you feel good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You think, I'm going to do that again. I'm going to go, well, maybe not sort garden out anymore, but, doing jobs that make you feel good again, you
Yeah.
feel proud of. So,
Yeah. Because it sounds like you may be like very much in the nature of a new pace, stepping
mm,
into a new version of you. Not that it's a different you, but a
mm,
more empowered version of you is surfacing.
mm.
So the,
Yeah.
like your strengths, maybe allowing your strengths to come through more. Would you say that's true, or
Yeah,
is it a bit
I
different?
agree with that. I think there's still the little bits of saying, "Am I doing it right?" There's
Yeah.
still little bits of, you know, I'm a bit rubbish here because I'm 50, but I should be, I shouldn't be having to ask an 18-year-old how to do something because I'm 50. I
Mm.
should have all this, information already and should know everything in a sense. I don't know. Do people know everything over a chat, when they've got that time? They've had time. So
What do
it's
you
like,
think?
I don't know. I think everyone goes differently. I don't think we all have our own skills, and even a young person could have skills that somebody who's much older, they've had years, but they might not have the skill anymore. They might not have that skill on that subject.
Mm.
So everyone needs to support each other.
Yeah.
Don't
Is
they?
it? It's easy, isn't it, to assume that people have got everything sorted out in their life and that they know
Mm,
things because maybe that's what they show to other people.
yeah.
But by no means have people got their ducks in a row. And like it's so easy to think that people have kind of you might just see like this little bit of the screen, but you might not see everything else in their life, sort of thing. You might
Yeah.
not see what's really going on
Yeah.
behind them.
That's right. Yeah.
So actually, yeah, and I think that, like what you said before about maybe asking for help, there is something there's a strength in asking for help, I believe.
Mm. Yeah.
And oh,
I think there is, but I can never
yeah,
do it. I always find that hard. I always feel it puts me back when you suddenly, everybody else who are younger often have gone to the manager and said, "I don't know how to do this."
hmm,
When I feel as if I've had what 30 years 30 years of childcare experience and done a course which I'm really proud of, and done a degree that I'm proud of, but now I look, 18 years ago I did that degree and I can't even, I know basic to do with it, but I don't feel as if I use that in my
hmm,
practice that I do every day.
hmm,
But I probably, look, thinking about it, I probably do, and it's not seen, it's just normal.
hmm.
So,
So certain things that might just be happening naturally for you that you might not necessarily talk about, but you do almost intuitively.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's even the basic of showing children how to climb safely up a climbing frame.
Yeah,
I know this is going basic, but you're there to support them. They're having to do that little bit of working out the safety and their own, knowing how far to go and believe in themselves. But you're there, that little strong character, behind them, ready to catch them if they fall. But they feel good about themselves because you're egging them on, saying yeah, you're nearly at the top now, and it's like they don't fall because they believe in themselves, and
yeah,
that's where I feel as if that's the skill that I've gained over the years. I've gained that, let them do it, let have that, that little bit of I can't think of the right word, but
yeah,
danger, bit of danger in their life, and it's like they need it to be able to achieve. If they
yeah,
don't get a chance to do it in the safe environment, then when they come along and try to climb and don't have anybody there and don't know how to do it, they'll go head first down onto the floor. But
Mm.
you've got to give them a chance to actually have that chance in life of everything.
Yeah.
So,
Because
but
when you're learning,
and I can do that.
if you were learning something new yourself now, if
Mm,
there was things that you're saying about turning 50 and feeling that it's a positive, if you like, are there certain things that you're doing that are new now, or certain things that you're looking forward to doing, or you
mm.
that you think you might do?
Uh, I feel as if there's not a lot, but there's always been that I felt as if sometimes your communication with all children's been hard sometimes, and I would like to do sign language.
Oh,
We've done some sign language, Makaton in work. So I know basic with the children, to go to the toilet and please and thank yous, and we sing the please and thank you song with 18, yeah, that's right, please and thank you. Um, and uh, and that every day we do that, and oh McDonald's, and we do all the animals. But that's actually would be a bit more in case my career ever changed, because I think that would help my career, which would help me and make me feel as if achieved that a bit more or something.
yeah.
But I am a little bit forgetful, so if they gave me, say, how to sign an elephant or how to sign, you probably know it anyway by guessing.
I don't know.
Uh,
This
exactly.
is a
But
trunk.
I couldn't think of it.
Big
I need,
ears.
yeah, well, that's what I'm thinking. So, and I'm a cow, moo, but it's still, but it'd be, oh, that's a pig. Yeah, you're good at pigs, aren't you? So, but no, that idea, and that would be so I could cover all children, special with needs, special needs would help them as well. And it will help me because that's one thing I feel a little bit of communication in a different manner. So
Yeah,
even communication when I've got my pens and paper out and I've done colouring with the children, they love that because they're able to just copy me sometimes. I might have a picture and they've copied my rainbow and they're
oh,
following my colours of my rainbow. And then they say to me, would you like my rainbow picture, Julie? It's totally wrong colours to the rainbow, but they've followed the shape, which is good to me.
yeah.
They're only 2.5 years old, and
Oh,
they're not just
yeah.
scribbling on a bit of paper, which is still work. It's still learning.
Yeah,
But it's when they then copy and then they say, and I'll say, would you like to take my picture home? And they're buzzing to go put it in the tray to take it home to the mummies to show what they've copied. And
yeah,
it's like, and something like that is like, you don't realize for little ones that, pictures are so important and expressing themselves. Even, and I know you're on about your art and stuff, but kiddies, when they're very little, choosing and saying to use lots of different colours
yeah,
makes it more smiley picture and makes it special, is what I always say to them. Because
yeah,
otherwise they just use one colour and just cover the paper in squidges, and I'll say, tell me about your picture, and they'll say it's my mummy. I said, but where's your mummy's hair? Uh, and so I'm there getting them to think about it, and they might do our picture with me then, and it's
yeah,
like, and it's their way of doing it. It might not look like a picture of a mummy, you
yeah,
know. Her hair was green, and it looked like it got spikes. Her feet were coming out of her head, you know. But that, and they like it when you're so positive back with them. And so later on in life, when they've moved on and they're a bit bigger, they'll probably be able to do that proper picture or design their own and make it Van Gogh.
yeah, yeah,
They can do it.
yeah. I mean,
So,
I always say it's not about what the picture looks like, but it's more about that expression. And it sounds
mm,
like there's that going on, as well as you really encouraging the creativity for
yeah,
these children and encouraging them to learn.
mm,
And it makes me think about that's something from what you're saying and from just general conversations with you anyway. it feels like that's what you're doing now as like turn in that sort of midlife era, turning 50, where at what point it was that counted as your Monday, whatever point it was, that you're allowing yourself to learn from those mistakes that you might like, rather than kind of making a judgment on what's happened in the past, that you're actually allowing yourself to be making
Yeah,
choices that apply for you and for you to
yeah,
express yourself properly.
yeah, yeah. Oh, I've I mean I've learned that when it comes to pictures, for instance, with little children, don't just turn around and say to them, "Oh, that's what's that? What is that?"
Yeah.
Because to them that is a masterpiece.
Mm.
That is a masterpiece. They might have even used pencil grip to actually hold that pen, and they've done a masterpiece. It's not, and then all they've done is I've known that they've gone through 4 different pieces of paper, front and back, and all they've done is scribble. And in my opinion, yeah, you could say it's not. But I've then said to them, "Tell me about your picture." And they've come out with all this, oh, well, there's the person, she's climbing on the big mountain, and that lady there, that's my mum and my brother and my dog.
Yeah.
And I'll go, that's fantastic. Now that's her probably imagination, but who knows, she might see that in their picture when she looks deep into it. I don't
Yeah.
know, it's her picture, not mine.
Yeah.
So even little ones, they'll do their own picture. I always say, never say it. What's that?
Yeah.
I'll say to them, "Oh, tell me about your picture. What's going on in there?" And they
Yeah.
always straight away they go, "Oh, you shows an interest. Oh,
Yeah.
surely do you want me to tell you?" "Oh, I just scribbled the paper." I says, "All right then. What's that one?" "Oh, that's my dad. Having mucky beer."
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and you got but it's still that's them expressing them. That's them being creative,
Yeah.
fun.
So yeah. I think that's a really good message for people, like not just for art, but just like for like having those open dialogue to be, can you tell me about your day? Is
Yeah,
very different to how are you or how's your day? Somebody could just say
yeah,
fine to those,
yeah.
whereas it asking something about, oh, can you tell me about what your
How's your day
weekend was
been?
like? Yeah.
How's your day been?
Yeah. That's it's
Yeah,
very different, isn't it? And I really liked what you said about, people like these children saying more about it. So it's
mm,
not just, what's that picture? And they go, well, it's a picture of a house, of course. And then they might feel judged then.
that's
Or
right.
you
Yeah,
might be thinking, hang on a minute, like, that doesn't look like a house. It looks like something else. And it
and you
might,
might look at them weirdly. What? Whereas
yeah,
if you turn around to them and say, "Tell me about your picture," you're prepared that they're going to come out with, "It's a scribble," or says, "Oh, did it feel nice when you use your pen?" "Oh, there's only one colour. Is that your favourite colour?" "Oh no, I like lots of colours." "Should you put lots of colours on your paper then?" And then they've come back and done some more colours, and it's
yeah,
been, and I've made it so that it's then they know, then they're there looking, showing them, the educating them really, because they're talking about the colours. So it's like, but they feel special because they've achieved, because I've not criticised.
yeah,
And then I feel happy because I've not criticised this child that's really working damn hard. So, you
yeah,
know, and anyway, but that's,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And I suppose it's like if somebody was to ask you some of the same, like to talk about yourself in that sort of way, that open way, does that appeal to you as well more than if somebody was just to ask you something like how are you and stuff? If you're getting that opportunity to share more.
Yeah, it depends how I feel though, because if I'm feeling low, and it depends who it is, then I might be thinking, how much time have they got? Or
Yeah,
do they look like they really want to know that I'm feeling rubbish today? You know, and And am I going to get carried away and they're bomb silly and the be face expression will be, God, what's up with her?
Mm.
You know, and I'm not able to express it. So it's like, and then they're going, I've got to go because I've got a bus to get.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and so part of me, even if I need somebody to talk to, if you're in the street, I'd always say, I'm little bit, I'm all right, I'm getting through it, and then say bye to them. Then before you know it, if they are good friends, because sometimes that's who they might say, oh, I'll go, hi, bye, you know, if I don't want to talk to them. But if I do, but I know I ain't got time, I may come out with that.
Mm.
It's a bit of a bad day, but I'm off to work. You take care. You know what I mean? And then I know that if they're good friends, which I would say majority of the people that I would come and speak to if I knew them, they would probably contact me back and say, "What's up with you?" Or
Mm.
you know, "Do you want a cuppa?" Yeah, you know, and that's where your good friendships are. But I haven't noticed that. I don't see sometimes friends are there, but then all of
Mm.
a sudden they are, and you go, oh, well, I told her in the street that I wasn't feeling good, but I've got to go for a bus. And next minute she's knocking on my door for a coffee. Now,
Yeah.
is that special or what? Now that's a special life that I lead when I'm 50. If that's gonna happen all the time, I'm gonna give people. I might have to set off 10 minutes for going to the bus just in case somebody passes me, and
Yeah.
I'll ask them, and they'll go, "I'm not feeling good." I says, "Well, I've got a little bit of time to talk to you, but you know, what's your name?
Mm.
How are you doing?" And and when I was sick once, they cared for me, and I didn't even know these people on the street
Yeah.
once before. I was like, "Oh my God, I don't even know you," and I've lived here 26 years on this estate, and you've just picked me up off floor
Yeah.
and cared for me. And I thought,
Yeah.
there's lovely people out there without even noticing.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you, like, I often think that we have amnesia when it comes to sort of our well-being and our
Yeah.
perceptions of things, like not in a
Mm,
literal way, but in a sense that, say, if we're feeling really rubbish, it can be easy to think, oh, if we're feeling a bit lonely, it can be easy to think, oh, this is how it is as a permanent thing. It can
mm,
think sometimes things can feel permanent, whereas actually, and then something completely different can change, and you're like,
mm.
oh, actually, now I've forgotten what it feels like to feel the opposite sort of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I just, I just find that it's, as I say, it's the best when somebody smiles at me and they walk by and I'm able to help them. Like a little old lady that, sorry if she knew me and knew I was talking here, and she would say, "How rude! I'm not a little old lady,
ah,
just a lady." But no, and she was struggling with her 3 bags that she was carrying. And I just said, "Would you like some help?" And I insisted. She was saying, "No, I'm all right." I says, "Look, I'll take one because I know you only live down the road." Crossed my fingers behind my back because I didn't know where she lived at all. And then helped to get home. And all I
yeah,
thought was, she lives near where on the estates. It's not be that far. You
yeah,
know, I need the exercise, so why not? And her face lit up for having that help. And I was going off on that bus and I was buzzing all
yeah,
day. And it's just like, and that to me is like the best ever feeling that you can get when you've seen their little face or that big face, but the face, and she's like relieved because she was struggling with these 3 Morrison's carrier bags, and
yeah,
she was there even trying to carry a stick at the same time, if I recall. But she were like shuffling along, and she had it. I think she even had slippers on. It were like that's how much she was. But she wouldn't have
yeah,
helped. She would not have said, "Yeah, you can help me out here," if it weren't for me being that more assertive person and saying, "No, I'm going to help you. You look like you're struggling there." And she looked so happy and tearful in a way, because she was like so emotional because I'd helped her, and she were like, "Look at you, Speedy," she's telling me, and I says, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'll slow down a bit." She says, "No, you're okay. That's me house over there," and she pointed to the door, and I was like, but no, I didn't speed and put it on a doorstep and then
yeah.
run off. I waited with her and walked up with her. But it were like, yeah, it's nice little things can happen to you and you forget about them. So yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes it's nice when you have a sister that helps you put your tent up and take your tent down, isn't it? When luckily it didn't rain and it's pop-up tent and I can't work out how to pop it back down again after
Yeah.
popping it up so easily.
It's pop-up tents are really hard. I don't know
But
how we
I
did it.
practiced it in garden. I could do it then. Practiced it in campsite to put it down again, and I couldn't
No.
work it out. And it was simple as just tilting it one way and twisting it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh no, don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it, isn't it? Sometimes it is. Sometimes being helped by somebody is at the right moment is exactly what somebody needs
Mm,
and what we need. Other times, being helped at the wrong time, or if somebody's not available to help, then it can
mm,
feel a bit like I can't do this. Like have this
mm,
kind of almost like I just can't do it, and then actually it's kind of take time to pause, which is
mm.
very important, and then oh, hang on, how would I work this out? What
Yeah.
might I do? So one question that I was like very much curious about is about your self-care and
Mm.
what you do for self-care slash taking time to pause or relax, or whether it's about relaxing or whether you see self-care as something else.
Mm.
Self-care can be lots of things, can't it?
Yeah. Uh, I like having a shower in the morning. A nice shower in the morning, getting out to a lovely, warm, fresh towel in the morning, and then looking at your big pile of clean clothes and going, right, what am I wearing?
Yeah.
And then that's it. But no, and then it's sitting there and watching a bit of Emmerdale and a bit of Coronation Street that I've missed, and there's other things as well, but it's just having you time,
Yeah.
being able to just chill out on the settee, not having to watch the clock. Um,
Yeah.
if people come to the door, not even being worried about who it is, you just look out the window. Ah, yeah, in you come. And having that social life because I like social time. So I'm chilling, yeah. But if somebody comes to the door, I'm still as chilled,
Yeah.
majority of the time. But it's just me time really. And I
Yeah.
don't read books because I forget halfway through the book which page I got up to.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
starting to reading it again. Don't mind a reading of a book, but I think I need to get a good bookmark really that it don't fall out and then I forget where I'm up to anyway. So
Yeah. It's easily done, isn't it?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And it's
So
those like that balance of sometimes the smallest things
mm,
are like really extraordinary, aren't they? Like
yeah,
the ordinary becoming extraordinary. So actually, like like something as simple as a shower can make so
mm,
much difference. It's like today I was like like my shower was after I'd been sort of surrounded by sort of like campfire, and so my hair was smelling of smoke, and like
yeah,
so having a shower after that can feel like really lovely, and it
yeah,
might you might kind of forget about doing some of those things, and
mm,
actually it's they are important, aren't they?
yeah. They are, yeah. It's uh, it's basic, isn't it? Really, basic care,
Yeah,
basic personal care that shouldn't be seen as being something special, but when we're all so busy in life, something like that, and it's enjoyable, even just sitting there and having a cup of coffee is like, and put your feet up. I've
yeah,
sat there before and gone, do you know, I'm not even being electrical. What is it? Mobile phoning and getting a carrot. Looked around and went, well, my mobile phone's on charge upstairs. My tablet, yeah, it's over in the corner. But hey, I'm not actually got any electric devices on. And that's
yeah,
one thing, even though, and it's like, but what am I doing? And I'm breathing.
yeah,
I'm just breathing and I'm enjoying just laying there and breathing and thinking and listening to nothing, listening to little noises like bumblebee and little things like that, or I've been in the garden and I've been so quiet that the birds have come onto the bird feeders, and you can hear them as if they're talking to one another, and it's like, oh, that is special. That's a special chill out time. Happy,
Mm.
makes you feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I always find sometimes the worst bit I have is asking for help. So asking for help, um, when it's only it's probably basic to some because they've got that confidence. But if say everybody was going through a walk, for
Mm.
instance, um, I would probably not go.
Mm.
The only reason is because I've got no transport. And instead of everybody's going by car and me going and having that little bit of guts by going over to them and say, you know, you're going up tomorrow, can I come with you?
Yeah.
I would wait and hope that somebody'd say, I'd say, sorry, can't get up there, you know. And if they're not good people, they wouldn't even notice me saying that. And I've found sometimes they've done that. People have done that to me. They've gone places and I've been waiting for the bus. Or you don't go somewhere because you can't get there.
Yeah.
You don't even, so one of the things, going on, say, walks and stuff like that, when you haven't got transport, you're restricted on some things. So
Yeah.
it's like, but then it's having the guts to actually just ask for that help.
Yeah.
Can I get a lift with you when we go to the park? Or can I have a lift because everyone's going to the park all together and you're the only one that said, I'm going as well, by the way, can I have a lift?
Yes. Yeah.
I wouldn't even ask them. I'd sit there and go, oh, I won't put my name down on that because I can't get there. But then I
Yeah.
look on the list and go, everybody can't get there. There's just Billy that's driving everyone,
Mm.
and
Yeah. So
and
there's
I could
maybe,
fit in
yeah.
Billy's car,
Of
but
what?
and I could fit in Billy's car with the others, but I wouldn't ask Billy for the lift.
Mm.
So
Yeah. So rather than so it's that kind of thing of, because the logistics are hard, aren't they? Sometimes I think like
mm,
it can be like the actual the getting somewhere,
mhm,
like not having a car and then sort of working out the public transport, or if there isn't a bus or a train that goes that direction, it
yeah,
can be so easy to go, oh, it's not possible, rather than saying, being really explicit. Because
mm,
actually, like what I've, like before I could drive, I found it really hard to ask for lifts, and I typically wouldn't ask for lifts particularly.
mm,
And yeah, so I can definitely relate with like to that. But then the subtleties don't tend to work. And
mm.
I think it's
Oh,
so
I
easy
can't
for
do it.
somebody, like if somebody said to
You're
me
getting the
something
hint.
like, "Oh, I'm not sure I can get there," I
I don't
wouldn't
have any
instant,
transport.
yeah, I might not instantly say, "Oh, actually, I can come and get you give you a lift," because there's so many other things that are going on in my mind.
Mm,
However, actually, it might not be that far out. It's not necessarily far out my way, and it's quite fun to be able to give somebody a lift, sort of thing, because you're
yeah,
talking on the way and things like that, or like as you said, helping somebody out does feel good.
mm,
But it's
yeah,
that kind of shared thing that, like that reciprocal bounce
mm,
back and forward, helping each other out.
yeah. It's you help me, I help you. You
Yeah,
know, but it doesn't always happen. But life's not that bad. You
yeah,
know. So we
yeah,
we can get there, and you'll be there 50. You'll be there 50 with me soon, sis.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'll be
No,
52 then. Yeah.
yeah, and then you then you'll be 16. I'll be saying the same thing, and then we'll be like, "Oh no, oh my god, what's going
No, we'll
on?"
be we'll be doing one of these and saying, "Oh, remind you that you're
Remember?
50. Thanks."
Yeah. So we jotted down some questions, didn't we? So I'm just gonna do some like quick fire things
Oh, this
that
will be
you,
fun.
well, you might not like, if you can't, you don't need to answer like really quickly.
Can
We'll
I do
just one word.
pass?
You can do pass, or you can. It doesn't have to be just one word. So,
Is that the case?
coffee or tea,
Coffee,
um, wine or beer,
beer.
mountain or the sea,
Ooh. mountain.
Dog or cat?
Dog.
Brother or sister?
Bro. Pass.
Yeah, you can pass that. What else? Pasta or pizza?
Oh, pizza, I think.
Oh yeah, I think I'd go. Pineapple on pizza. What's your take on pineapple on pizza?
I don't mind. You've got to have more. If it's ham and pineapple, you've got to have more ham on there than the pineapple.
Oh,
Because that's like a cheap way out for the for the chef. That is,
ooh.
putting more pineapple on a ham and pineapple pizza is like saving money for the takeout.
Is it? Because is it cost more to have ham?
I don't know. I don't know.
I
But
don't
I have a
know.
feeling it looks like it would be.
But maybe it's a lower proportion of pineapple. Have you ever had pineapple and pepperoni pizza?
No, I've not. I always
That's
go for more
amazing.
of a spicy. I always like more of a spicy chickeny ones. Me,
Yeah.
I like it. I like a bit of chicken tikka, chicken pizza,
Yeah.
or say chili con carne on pizza is nice.
Yeah. Or would you, if you went for something spicy, then what would you go for? Like, what's your favorite foods generally? If you were
Probably
talking
chicken
spice.
tikka masala.
Yeah.
Probably something like that. Um, a korma, yeah, maybe, but I mean that's all coconutty. So you could say that it's not. It's one of your 5 a days, that isn't it? So it's healthier.
Coconut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you could have it as, yeah,
Yeah, because it's more like, yeah, it's not as hot as it's like quite a mild one. But like,
yeah,
find that.
5 a day.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Sorry.
is it, and it like as we're sort of wrapping things up, sort of thing. Is there anything that you think that you'd like to sort of share with anyone that's watching or listening? Like any messages? It might be something that you've already mentioned that you want to sort of think about, and things that you might feel sort of particularly grateful for, or just an idea or so like it's a message for people to leave with, sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. Just remember, life's too short. You've got to make the most of the time you have
Yeah.
and try to look at it. Look, life's life can be years. Life can be short. You
Yeah.
don't know what's around the corner. So, you know, putting on your favourite dress instead of just putting your mucky trousers on because the half the other cleaner the mucky, oh yeah, I'll wear them one more day. You're best to suddenly, yeah, it gives you more washing, but hey, don't leave that dress and not wear it, because what happens if tomorrow never comes? So make the
Yeah.
most of the days in your time you have as if it's your last one. I know that sounds depressing, but you should. It's important.
Yeah.
Yeah. And share share love with your loved ones, all your good things, not just bad things.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
I love that, and it does make me think because I often, you know, might wear kind of the same clothes all the time and hold back clothes for if I'm going out, and then find that I'm maybe not going out very often, and yeah, they might be clean, not necessarily smelly, but it's the same drab clothes. So actually, it's inspired me to dress a bit more, sort of.
I mean, I won't wear. I've got dresses until then. I wear a dress and go to the loo and fell over in the loo and whacked my head twice
Oh
trying to
wow!
put my heels back on when I'd been through a wee and they'd fallen off. Leant over.
Wow!
I'm sure I did a somersault in the loos. You know,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Well, maybe
So
we have to do part two if you want to share any of that because,
no, I'm
like,
not
I
talking
think
about
that's a
things
long
to do with
story.
fallovers, but no, no, I'm not going to share that.
Yeah,
No, you'd be all laughing. It's not fair. No,
yeah,
all my, all my issues and problems, and I can't think of the right word when it don't matter. But
roller
things that have gone
coaster.
wrong. What have gone wrong when I'm 50? like falling in the loos, knocking my mobile phone down the toilet. No,
Oh,
well, actually, it just missed because of my bum, but it hit the floor next to the toilet.
yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, and anything that, like, I always think that anything that brings about a story, so sometimes things might be stressful in the moment, but then, or they might be kind of feel like really big and like trying to work it out in the moment, and then actually it becomes a story, or you can laugh about it later on, or
Mm.
I don't know, have a conversation
But
about it in a different way.
yeah, it's when somebody might say to you, say something positive that's happened to you today, and you feel in that low moment, and you can't think of anything whatsoever, and then say 2 hours down the line, somebody will ask the same question, and you come out with absolutely loads of answers,
Yeah,
and then think to yourself, actually, that was only a small moment, you know, and it's everyone, you might go through that all of a sudden feeling, ugh, but some you've got to be there for each other because you might not ever know that. Like when I
yeah,
was low, my friend said to me, tell me something you've done today that has made you feel good. And I've gone, ugh, is there any, and then have you got achieved anything today? And I've gone, ugh. And then I turned around, she went really basic to me and said, what have you achieved? Have you made the bed today? And I said, yes, I've made the bed. Well, you've achieved something today,
yeah,
Julie. And that hit me, did that, saying every time I feel that I don't know what I've done today and if I've done anything good, I've then thought about that and goes,
yeah,
what can I smell? What can I see? What can I hear? I make sure that I think about all those things that my friends and family have told me.
yeah.
So, and not you. You've not always told me them, but you've told me to ground myself. But I've no idea what that meant
Ground
because
yourself.
grounding, I thought that that was when you weren't allowed out or have your mobile phone.
Oh yeah, you grounded.
Ah,
Like you
that's
just
it.
stay in your bedroom because you're grounded. It's
Yeah.
like, no, it's been balanced. Like the nervous system regulated and balanced. And it, yeah, calm, zen. But yeah, it's so true, isn't it? But thank you so much. One of the things that I really appreciate in our conversation is the reality of ups and downs and roller coasters, like life
Mm.
and feelings and our minds being like a roller coaster. And sometimes we forget things, sometimes we can think of the positive things, sometimes we can't. And actually, that's definitely something that I wanted to have from this podcast, where we can say it's it's not about coming on and sharing everything that's perfect, but being able to share those ups and downs and the
Mm.
reality of it. So thank you so much for coming on, Julie. Love you to
You're well.
pieces. And thank you to all the listeners for tuning in. If you liked this episode, share it with any of your friends, and let me know if you've got any thoughts about turning 50, midlife, or anything like that. And
Yeah. And don't laugh too much about it or even look into more information about Julie falling over
falling over in the
in the
toilets.
toilets in Leeds. And I'm sure I did a somersault.
Yeah, the somersault will be at the Olympics next year, but maybe
Thank
not.
you.
Right, thanks so much. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.